while fastened in the window's pin. Keep your hand on that plow. Hold on. Noah said you done lost your track. Can't plow straight and keep a looking back. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on.
Good morning, teacher. At this time in our worship service, we pause to pay tribute to one of the world's favorite sons and Atlanta's own native son, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man of nonviolence who led campaign after campaign against racism and changed the conscience of our nation. Today, as we celebrate his 86th birthday, we are reminded of his impact his life had and is still having on the world today. As we commence our Black History Moments for 2015, we acknowledge the Association for the Study of African American Life and History's theme for Black History Month, A Century of Black Life, History, and Culture. Dr. King was born on January 15, 1929. His life is captured in this theme. He was always a strong supporter and worker of the civil rights movement. After enrolling at Crozer Theological Seminary, he began a serious intellectual quest for a method that would eliminate what he called social evil. He read many books, including the Bible, and deduced that the Sermon on the Mount and the Gandhian method of non-resistance would be the guiding light of the movement. He surmised that Christ furnished the spirit and motivation, and Gandhi furnished the method. In 1954, when Dr. King was pastor at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama, the people called on him to serve as the spokesperson for the movement. The first time in which he applied and experienced nonviolent resistance. His fresh and skillful rhetoric was the fuel that drove the civil rights movement. He, along with his foot soldiers, dealt with many of the same issues that still plague America today. Dr. King became America's icon of the civil rights movement. He preached universal love and brotherhood and led nonviolent demonstrations and sit-ins for racial equality all over the country. He was an optimistic visionary. In his book, Strength to Love, Dr. King reminds us in several of his sermons of his belief in a divine, loving presence that binds all life, which was the force behind his quest to eliminate social evil, including poverty, racism, and war. He further wrote that we are living in some turbulent days of uncertainty, evils of economics, and racial injustices, things that threaten the very survival of the human race. It is ironic that what he preached about in the 50s and 60s, we are experiencing in this, the 21st century. And how ironic is it that the film Selma is in theaters at this time in 2015. 50 years after the Selma to Montgomery March, Bloody Sunday, God has a way of bringing everything full circle. Also, in Strength to Love, Dr. King expressed his decades we have and are experiencing. He wrote that he is not discouraged about the future. We face a world crisis, but know that every crisis has its dangers and its opportunities. In the midst of what is going on around us and with us, and although old systems of exploitation and oppression are passing away, new systems of justice and equality are being born. This is the time to be optimistic about the future and know that the easygoing days of yesteryear are impossible. When life brings periods of flooding and periods of drought, we know that God is able to give us interior